Today we're going to go over the case of Sydney Loofe. November the 15th, 2017, Sydney Loofe left work for a Tinder date in Wilbur, Nebraska. The day after, Loofe was reported missing by her mother. 3 weeks later, her dismembered body was found along a gravel road. Bailey Broswell and her boyfriend, Aubrey Trial, were arrested for her murder. Their story has changed several times. Initially, they denied any involvement, but after Loofe's body was found, Aubrey Trial confessed to her murder. Bailey Broswell denied any involvement. The prosecution obtained store receipts and video evidence of Bailey and Aubrey together buying bleach, saws, and trash bags shortly before Sydney's murder. They also pinned Sydney's phone together with Bailey and Aubrey's at the time of her murder. Sydney Irene Loofe was born August the 1st, 1993, in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Her dad was George W. Her mother was Susie Loofe. She loved fishing, basketball, and golf. She developed scoliosis and then anxiety and depression. Loofe agreed to go on a date with Bailey November the 14th, 2017. Bailey used the alias Aubrey. The date would be in Bailey's basement that her and Aubrey rented together. November the 15th, Loofe went on another date with Bailey. Before heading to her date, she posted a Snapchat image captioned, "Ready for my date." November the 16th, her mother reported her missing. The cops did a welfare check at her home, but she was never found. Her cat had also not been fed. The owner of Bailey and Aubrey's basement rental complained of a strong smell of bleach coming from their rental. This smell was so strong that members of the family got sick and hives. After Sydney went missing, one of her friends set out to find out who Sydney was with the night she disappeared. She contacted Bailey under the alias of Aubrey and received her number, to which she gave to the cops. The cops then arrived at Bailey and Aubrey's house. They knocked on the door, but no one answered. The landlord let them in. They noticed the strong aroma of bleach, but nothing more was found. The next day, the cops returned with a search warrant, but again, nothing was found. November the 28th, Bailey and Aubrey were considered persons of interest. The couple responded on Facebook livestream, defending themselves and maintaining their innocence.
I met her on a Tuesday. We drove around Lincoln, smoked weed, had a great time. We hit it off. I dropped her off at home, picked her up the next night at her house. We drove around, smoked weed again, made our way to my house where we smoked wax and shatter, and I gave her a 1/4 ounce of some really good weed. I went to take her home, and she asked me to drop her off at a friend's house.
November the 30th, they were arrested for fraud. December 4th and 5th, Sydney Loofe's body was found. In the trial, Aubrey claimed that he had accidentally killed Sydney during a sexual act gone wrong, and Bailey was innocent. 2 weeks later, he stood up and screamed, "Bailey is innocent, I curse you all." He then slashed his throat. His attempt to kill himself was not successful. One of his ex-girlfriends testified that they were all in a sexual occult. They called themselves the Witches. They often talked about murder, torture, and the occult. His ex said that Aubrey once ordered her to kill another witch in their occult. Aubrey told her if she killed the other witch, she would gain magical powers. She would be even more powerful if she would torture the victim for 2 to 3 hours. She said she agreed to commit this murder, but she never went through with it. Aubrey was found guilty of first-degree murder. Bailey's trial followed Aubrey's. Aubrey's ex along with the girl that she was ordered to murder but didn't, both testified that they were expected to show Bailey complete and total obedience. Bailey was the head witch. She was cruel and sadistic. They said Bailey had once spoke joyfully of killing someone by pouring acid on them. She was also found guilty of first-degree murder.